Ready? Hi everybody, it's Lisa Sherman, and how are you? Welcome to my spinning example class for you. Today you're going to get a little taste of what I do in my spinning classes, let you see what I've been up to, and also a touch of the workshop that I submitted for WSSC, which is called 1 BPM, Many Opportunities, or Numerous Opportunities. Anyway, usually when I walk into a class, I assess the situation, assess the class, make sure everything's working, and then as my clients come in and they get on the class, I walk around and make sure that they are set up appropriately. Now, because of today and the time allowance, the whole presentation is going to be less of what I would do. Short of warm-up, short of workout, example, short of cool-down. But this way you'll just have an idea of what I'm doing. So, as I will be walking in and checking my students to make sure that their gear is tight, acceptable, everything is working, I would take notice of their positions, of their setup. Really important. So a lot of teachers truly don't do that. They just come in and they jump on the bike. I'm seeing that Diane, I've worked with her before. Diane is looking good. She's ready to go. And Janine is looking good and she's ready to go. Katie, I see an issue. So let's see here, Katie. Wow. Katie. What I need to do is move Katie back because Katie is way too forward. So let's start from the beginning and start this up. First of all, let's take the resistance down. I'm going to touch your bike, as you know. Katie knows that I'm going to come here and possibly touch her, so I want her to sit back for a second. There you go. Shoulders over hips. I'd like your legs to stop. So I'm going to turn the resistance up, and that's going to help you bring the system to stop. Now, as I bring this leg, this knee a little bit more forward, you can see that there is it's way too forward, and we don't want that protraction. So what we're going to do is that I'm going to ask Katie to sit up. She knows I'm going to get bringing my hands below her, and I'm going to bring her seat back, and I'm going to try it just about here. Now, there's one issue. Have a seat, Katie. There's one issue that it's important to know. All gyms are different. These are really, they're the older bike. They don't have as many options for setup positions. So sometimes we have to make do with what we have. Now, with those knees in line with each other, again, I'm seeing that there is a much better plumb line between that knee and the ball of the foot, which is really so important. Her hips are back, shoulders over hips. Now, Katie's got these long arms, and so for her advantage, she's able to have a slight bend in that arm, because there are some people who have long legs, short trunks, long arms, or short arms, mixed trunk lengths and lever lengths, and you have to just really work with what you have. So she has a nice slight bend. Shoulders are blanketing right over that thigh, which is exactly where it should be. Hips are back, feet are flat and ready to go. Now, safety is always number one. What's really important is that, depending on what people have when they come to your class, a lot of people still don't have cycling shoes. Why? But they don't. So when they don't have a cycling shoe, Cindy, can you see what I'm doing right here? These baskets that come on these bikes, as we all know, they're just, they're beaten up. They're torn and the buckles are stretched and broken. And so if you don't have a cycling shoe, people are going to drive their foot all the way in that basket for fear of falling out. That changes their whole pedal stroke and pedal activity. Changes the biomechanics. We're lucky that these three ladies have their cycling shoes on. So with that, still safety issues, but that takes that possible problem away. So we're looking good. Everyone is ready to go. Let's do it. So once again, I'm going to give you just a little taste of this class. Putting on the music, and ladies, we're ready to go. Cindy, you can hear me okay? All right, that's good. And always when you get into class, you want to get there a little bit early, make sure everything works like the stereo system and your microphone. That's a big deal. And it's also really helpful if the music is not blaring out of control, so that people can actually hear your cues. That's important. All right. Starting sitting up, everybody. Now, on these bikes we have monitors, which is really helpful. If we did not have monitors, then I would go old school. You know, I would do the cadence count, 15 second, and keep everybody in a, controlled terrain situation. Because cadence control can be out of control. We don't want creative chaos. So what I'm going to say to them is that just for this warm-up, I would like your top number to be between 80 and 90. Your bottom number resistance, anywhere between 4 and 9. Anywhere between 4 and 9. Find that place. Bring the arms up. Big diaphragmatic breath. Open the arms. Shake it out. Do it again. Bring the arms up. Hold it here. Take that left hand around your head. Reach down with your right fingers. Offering a nice stretch. And try to lengthen the area between your ear and the top of your shoulder. Other side, everybody. Hold that position. Nice. Very light on your neck and your head. Bring the hands back. Reach down. Retracting your shoulders. Nice big diaphragmatic breath again. Shake it out. Hands on handlebars. Let's go. Immediately, make sure that there is a connection between your flywheel and that resistance. Everybody is calibrated different. So what you're doing, what your neighbor is doing could be a little bit different. That's okay. Top numbers anywhere between 80 and 90. And your resistance is minimal. Starting from the top, the neck is relaxed, shoulders down, elbows relaxed. Now your abdomen is going to be engaged. Engaged. Not contracted, but engaged. Your hips are back, and your thighs, I sometimes tell people, think of having Velcro on the inside of your thighs. So if your knees were headlights, those headlights, I'd be able to see you straight on and vice versa. As far as pedal stroke, you continue going, continue moving. I always bring my little trusty clock. If you think 12, 3, 6, 9, like on the face of this clock, a lot of times people tend to pedal between that 12 and 3. It's like stair climbing. What you want to do is think of 3 and 9. You're up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around. Now, with that being said, please add one more resistance, which is called resistance loading. Resistance loading is when you have a constant cadence and you add resistance. Now, everybody, as I said, is calibrated differently, so I'm not feeling so much, so I'm going to add a little bit more resistance, and you may wish to do the same. Breathing diaphragmatically through the nose and out through the mouth. Bring those thighs up to your abdomen, up and around, and your body blankets over those legs. Feet are flat. Now there is a constant energy that's going to go up and around through your entire body. It's okay. We want that. We allow that. We ask for that. What's nice about this is that a lot of times you just want to be. You just want to be here. No one is giving you orders. No one's yelling. You know, some classes you go to and people are yelling at you. Who wants to be yelled at? Nobody wants to be yelled at. You want to be talked to because we're going on this ride together. Now, because of time, we are going to speed through this. So let's assume that we've gone through, about a 5-6 minute warm-up here, okay? So I'm going to start my first little cycle of things that I do. Looking at our numbers, anywhere between 80 and 90. Find a number. And we're going to add 10 numbers. We're going to cadence build, add numbers on the count of 1. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Add 10 numbers. We're going to be here for 1 minute. Now, when it gets faster, you want to get a little closer. A lot of times, I use the reference of a slinky. You know how slinkies, they fold, they expand, they fold? You want to think that. A slinky is a great visual. Thighs up, thighs up, thighs up. Breathing changes. Heart rate increases. Now, we're just going to do, for reasons of today, we're going to do this once cadence building for 1 minute. We have about 6 seconds left where your 10 numbers up. Beautiful. All right, let's take 10 numbers back to where we started, somewhere between 80 and 90. Now, I would like everyone to resistance load right now. Now, we're going to be getting off the saddle very soon, so it's important to know that we have enough resistance to carry our weight when we're off the saddle, okay? It is preferred that you're between 80, probably, and 83. Let's try to find 80 and 83. To match that demand, once again, a possible resistance load. So you might be around 10, maybe, somewhere around there. On the count of 1, we're going to run. Here's your visual preview. Please don't follow me yet. That's where we're going to be. 4, 3, 2, go. Run. Now when we're running, we're still between that 80, 83 mark. Body's relaxed. Shoulders down. We're going to be here for 30 seconds. We'll just do this once, just because of time. But bring those thighs up to us. Still, up. Everything's up. We want up. Very nice, everybody. Really nice. 5 seconds. Breathe, and 2, have a seat gently. Now, in normal situations, I would probably do this 2 or 3 times. Different intervals of active rest. But for today's purposes, what I'd like to do is go into the jumps, okay? Let's say that we've had an active rest for about 1 minute. Here's your visual preview. Here we go. Launching off the saddle, gently on the saddle. Staying between 80 and 83. Everybody join me now. Off the saddle. On the saddle. Off the saddle. On the saddle. Keep going. Now with this in mind, this is a really good time when I go around and I check laterally to see how everyone is doing, their moves. How they're elevating off the saddle and placing themselves back in the saddle. The things that I see are people that push forward or drop back. Those things are all great cues that the teacher needs to work with and work on with their students. We're going to do 4 more for our purposes today. Gently down. Elbows relax. I can always tell, 2 more ladies, how someone is sitting by what their elbows do at the end. This is it. Have a seat. Very nice. In normal situations, I would have done this a few times with different intervals. For today's purposes, we're now going to start to go into the hills. Now, if you notice, there's 1 BPM happening. It's about 128. So many things you can do with this 1 BPM. One thing is actually concentrate on what I'm talking about and what I'm saying. Okay. Assuming that we've done this a bunch of times, we're ready to go into our hills. I would like everyone to look at their top numbers. We want to end up between 70, probably 70, 72, 73. I need you to get there. And as we get there, we're going to resistance load once again, because we have to match that demand since we're now starting to climb the hill. When we go into the hill, we have to sit back a little bit further. Make sure that our hands are placed correctly, preferably thumbs on top. This is just gonna drive those elbows in the perfect position. Otherwise, sometimes when people are in too close, elbows shut out and chin jump happens. 70, preferably 70, 73. Now, if you're wearing a cycling shoe, you can drop your heels a little bit. Diane's really proud because she just went cycling shoes. So this is where you have baby. This is her first training. Sorry the class is going to be so short, but this is just for, this is for adult clients. So what I would do is probably have them climb for 2-3 minutes, I'd get off the bike. I'd get around like, here's an example. I'd get off the bike. I'd walk around. I would look laterally. See how their knee strike, how their foot strike, hips, spine, shoulders. I would look at everything. When I feel that it's good. Okay. Here's your next little cue, which I will show you first. This is what we're going to do on the count of 1. We're going to do accelerations, rolling hills. Home base is 70 to 73. We're going to jump to hand position 2 or 3, and we're going to increase our leg speed, increase our cadence for about 15 seconds, then sit down and hold that number on the count of 1. 3, 2, 1, go! 15 seconds, let's go. Speed it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. 5 seconds. Push, 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 push. Look at your top numbers. Sit down and hold that. Hold it. Hold it. Push. 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 Nice, nice, nice. Nice. 10 seconds to go. You can do it. You can do it. Breathing changes. Everything changes. Yes. Eyes up and around. Eyes up and around. Eyes up and around. Beautiful, everybody. 3, 2, go back to home base. 70, 73. Stay here. So, we will do that rolling hill a few times. Perhaps add another acceleration again. Do all kinds of things. Come back. This is when this workshop and this BPM becomes fun. Check this out. So we're between 70 and 73. I need everybody to listen to the rhythm. Right now we're above the rhythm. We're above the rhythm. But if you look at your top numbers and you find 66, do that now. Find 66. Wow. All of a sudden, we're together. We are rolling to the rhythm. Now, any kind of decrease or increase in resistance, you have to increase, let's start again. As the hill increases and the resistance increases, you have to add resistance to match that demand. Everyone, I'm thinking you probably have to probably add 2 or 3 resistance loads at 66. Resistance loading. Find that now, please. If you're going over 65, 66, you're going too fast. Now, I can't tell you not to do that, but this is where we are presently. Now, when we get into the hills, it gets exciting. Your hamstrings become your #1 best friend or worst enemy. And you really want to drive those thighs up and around, up and around, up and around. Show me what you got, everybody. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking good to me. So we would be in that seated climb. Well, sometimes I go for like, 3-4 minutes, whatever. But then so you can see everything that we do. After we're here, and we start to really hear that rhythm. I'm keeping it a little bit lower because of recording today. lasting anyway. It's not much fun. What's going to happen on the count of 1? We're going to do a standing climb. Same numbers, top number, 65 on your monitor. Resistance. If you're able to add one more resistance load for this final exercise, do it now, please. For those of you wearing heart rate monitors, you're at about 85%. For those of you using perceived exertion charts, from 1 to 10, you're probably about 7, 6, 7, maybe 7, 8. Depends on the individual. On the count of 1, and position 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now, this is where the nitty-gritty is. Now, what I tell people, you guys keep going, is to pull your shoulder blades apart. Really engage. Shoulders down. And pull the floor up with you, you know? Really, pull it up. And as you can see what they're doing, it's beautiful. You have that resistance versus demand. It's constant. There's slight movement in her body. We want that. Now here with Diane. Diane is right in that verge of that possible 12-6 situation. So what I'm going to try to do is ask Diane, keep on going. I want Diane to get a little bit lower, a little back a little more. Pull those back. That's what we're talking about. You always want the nose of the seat touching your body part. Depending on your spinal ability, you know, not everybody has a strong back. That is so much better. Janine is looking great. We got it. We got this. Woo! That's what it's about. So, to get towards the end of this video, when we're now like in that standing climb, let's say we've done this for about a minute. I'm going to tell everyone to add 5 numbers. Speed up, Hayden'sville. When you get to about 80, sit down, hold it. Now these guys are, you know, we're holding a heavy resistance. We're going to hold 80. We're going to hold 80. Again, if I was doing this old school, I would do the cadence count and keep a control of everybody. We're going to add 5 numbers. This is it. 5 more. 5 more. Yeah. Please reduce 2 resistance loads. 2. We're now between 80 and 90, just where we started. So we've done a full circle, but in record time because of the video. Record time. And what we would do is I would take everybody home. We go from 80 to 90. Then I would ask the last like 3 minutes for everyone to go between 90 and like 100, 103, whatever, everybody's different. So, let's go home. Woo! Yeah. Thighs up. What happens when it's fast? We get closer. Let's go home for 1 minute. Pull those thighs up and around, up and around. Yeah, this is it. Up and around, up and around. Make it effortless. Breathing through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Feet are flat. Let's just say this been for a minute. We're going to slow the legs down by adding resistance. A little bit. Then, we're going to sit up as we bring the resistance to about a 3 where we started. We're going to keep rolling our legs. Bring the arms up. Open up the arms, big and wide, and do that again. You know, the whole body's curled up for quite a while, so it feels good to stretch. Slowing the legs down one more time. Just like in the beginning. Take our left hand, place it gently around our head, and take our right fingers and really drive to the floor. Slow the legs down. Bring that chin down very gently. Other side. Well, you know there's no air conditioning in this room. This is like, no, I don't know about you guys. Yeah, this is the way back. Bring the hands back. Try to bring those legs to a full stop. Big breath. Bring the arms forward and round the spine and pull those shoulder blades apart. Relax the hands. Detach. Come to the side of your bike, please. Holding on if you need to. Take your right foot. Place that right foot back. Stretching your gastrocnemius. Shoulders are forward. Hold on if you need to. If you don't need to, that's absolutely fine. From here, please lift up your heel. Now tuck your tailbone. Tuck your tailbone and do what's called posterior pelvic toe, which is that you're going to just tuck your tailbone under, okay? You're going to feel that stretch in your hip flexor. Hold in that position. Now we're doing all this quickly for obvious reasons. Everyone take your right foot, start with your thighs in line with each other. Thighs in line with each other. Once again, for you, tuck your tailbone. For us, it's a posterior pelvic tilt. That's going to drive the leg forward. You're going to hold that tilt. You're going to drive that heel back into your glute. Shoulders over hips, stretching that quadricep. And we would hold that for a while, and we'll take our leg and cross it over our standing leg. For purposes today, we're just going to drop that right knee a little bit lower than the left. Rolling up. And we would obviously do the other side, but you guys can do the other side. I want to say goodbye to you. Thank you for viewing. My name is Lisa Sherman. This was a little taste of one of the classes I do, and for all reasons, especially being in the MI family for so long, I want you to see what I'm up to, and also check out what I submitted to WSSC. I gave you, I think, 3 or 4 different, maybe 3. No, 4. I gave you 4 submissions. Hope to hear from you. Love to everybody in California. See ya. Great job, everybody.